So still, we have about 1 hour. Assalamu alaikum. Takbir. Allahu Akbar. So alhamdulillah, we have a great grace, and unfortunately, nobody informed me. If not, we can keep all these brothers to be here before. We have full masjid today. Alhamdulillah, we have hard training, but alhamdulillah, this is blessed for us. And inshallah, we have half hour. So let we here get benefits from him, inshallah. And I think everybody know, I don't know to introduce him, right?
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen wa ala rijal muslimin wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulullah al-Kareem wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Sheikhna, tafadhal. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. There's a good chance for us to be here together today. Unfortunately, I just found Sheikh, he didn't even know we're coming. I wonder, did anybody here knew we were coming today? One person. Yeah, come be with me, Sheikh. Did any sisters? Nobody knew we were coming. You know what? Maybe I don't even know. Maybe I'm not even here.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah. You sent email to somebody?
That's not my job.
Oh.
My job is to talk too much. That's it. Okay, well, the place we just left, 2 people knew we were coming, so somebody must have let the secret out ahead of time. Alhamdulillah. But we got here Thursday, and I'm almost convinced that the people of Seattle, they like to keep good secrets. Very good secrets. Because we'd ask them where we're going to be. So, well, you'll be in Seattle. Oh, thank you. Where? Yeah. We'll ask where we're going to stay. Marriott. How many Marriotts are there? Oh, well, it's one of them. MashaAllah. So, maybe next time, if we come again, we need to find somebody else to handle the arrangements.
If you send me, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah. Let's see, the last time I came to Seattle, it's been a while.
Yeah, we have interfaith.
That was the last time?
Yeah, in the, what you call?
Interfaith.
Yeah, in the library. Library.
Okay. Well, according to our schedule, by the way, how many of you heard about Guide Us TV? Anybody heard about Guide Us TV?
No, I don't.
Before?
From last night.
From last night, okay. Guide Us TV is the first and only television channel for Islam in America. Alhamdulillah, we got a couple other channels in English, but they're not in America. One is in Mumbai, India, Dr. Zakir Naik's Peace TV. The other one is Dr. Salah's Huda TV, which is in Cairo, in Egypt. But until now, we haven't had anything here in America that we could really say is our own. But now, alhamdulillah, for the last 3.5, almost 4 years now, we've had Guide Us TV. It started out about 12 years ago as Watch Islam TV, and then when we opened on satellite, we changed the name to Guide Us TV. We also added apps since then. So we're on the internet, we're on the apps, and we're on the satellite all across the United States and Canada. I'm not satisfied with that, I want more. I'm like, some people, they want gold. Me, I need dawah. Lots of it. So we opened a antenna station, free-to-air station in New York, which I was checking the numbers on it today. Over 12 million people are being serviced by that one antenna there. Los Angeles, we have, I think the number was 5 or 7 million, something like that. Houston has almost 5 million. Dallas and Fort Worth is more than that. And Columbus, Ohio, we have another antenna there, and we have over 2 million people there. So, we're getting some coverage. There's a lot of places that I want to work on. We have an opportunity here in Seattle, and while I was here, I'm checking it out and talking to the owners of the antenna. And it seems that we could do it, but based on what I saw so far, I'd be afraid to open up something here and trust it to just anybody, if you follow what I'm saying. Television is very critical. It has to be exactly on time. You can't do the Muslim inshallah time. You know what I'm talking about? Because, well, if you know what kind of fines we're talking about, I think all of us would be on time. If somebody told you were 1 minute late, it's a $20,000 fine, I think every Muslim would find a way to get there. But because there's no penalty involved, we don't care. Now, I told you 3 o'clock, man, it's only 3:30. In television, that means the whole program is gone. So it's very critical. Another thing is critical too is the content. You have to have the right thing on the right way. Of course, that's in Islam anyway. You wouldn't want to put something on there that was haram. You wouldn't want to put something on there that offensive or hurt anybody's feelings. So the FCC, when you use antennas, the FCC is watching this, you know. And again, you can get a big fine. If you say something against any religion, if you said it like a joke, maybe you could get away with it, but depending on how you said it. But if you just slander somebody or put them down like that, you can lose your license, or you can do a big fine, or both. So you have to be very careful about it. And unfortunately, if you don't know what Guidance TV is, then I'm kind of wasting your time talking about it because you haven't seen it. I'm going to try, and I don't know if it'll work inside the building because this pretty heavy-duty building here. It may not allow the signal to go through. I don't know. Has anybody here tried to ever use their internet on their phone? Does it work in here? Okay, then it'll work. What you do is go to your Play Store, App Store, and then open up that the search thing and type in "guide us" like it's one word. Guide us like it's one word. Tell me what you see. If you see something that looks like my cap, if you see anything that looks kind of red, white, and blue like this and say "guide us" on it, then you got it. And when you download it, it's free. So I know the Muslims don't mind that. And then when you download it, though, you'll find it has 4 things on the app. One is the news. It's the news we want to know about. Another one is the events. Maybe it even has the event where we're at right now, but maybe that's a secret too, I don't know. Yeah, you found it? I don't think so. Well, it might say it, but it doesn't look like it to me. It has to look like this right here. A lot of people copying us, you know. Anything gets popular, you get a lot of rip-off guys. Now you got it. That's it. You got a lot of rip-off people. I'm sorry to tell you, and that's a lot of Muslims are doing that. They say, "Oh, this is popular. Let me use the words. Let me use the name. Let me, you know." And yeah. Anyway, once you get it, you got a choice of the different things. If you'll click on it after you install it. Oh yeah, you were watching this. This is what you were actually watching, the channel. Okay, yeah. I got you. I thought that was the image on it. I didn't realize what you were looking at. Now, if you choose the news, if you didn't download it yet, you probably should, so you can keep up with what I'm going to do right now. The other thing that you got on here, the other really big thing besides the events, is the news. But you notice these items that are on here are not the typical news that you normally see. There's Sheikh Muhtar Sabri, by the way. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. MashaAllah. That's another secret. You didn't know he was coming either. And see the two guys over there? Those are the best two secret keepers in Seattle. Thank you so much for bringing us out here. And we blew your secret. We told them who we were. The first one that you'll notice in the news tells you about the lies about the Prophet's mosque. And it's not in much detail, but it just sums it up real quick, telling us that that stuff that's being spread on the internet right now is a lie. So it's worth it to check this out every day, because a lot of times you hear things about Islam, you hear things that's going on, they're not true. And do you know who's the worst one about saying the wrong things about Islam? Do you think it's Fox Network or CNN or ABC or CBS or BBC? Or do you think it's the Times? You think that's who it is? The LA Times or the New York Times or the Houston Chronicle, the Houston Post? Maybe it's the radio stations. Maybe they're the worst about telling lies about Islam. Who do you think is the worst? Who? Which one? Muslims. You're absolutely right. The worst liars for Islam are Muslim youth today. Our own youth. Many of them, they don't even know what's Islam. And they're saying what they got off of the news and twisting it around and making up stuff as they go. Some of them, they have a half knowledge of Islam, half. And then the rest, they mix it with something else. We see that mostly from the age group of about 11 or 12 up to about 20. That's the biggest age group that we find that are doing this. Now, I won't say I'm an expert on the internet. I don't think I'm an expert on anything. But I've been on it, working on it with websites since 1998. And every day we're looking at what's going on, checking what's going on, who's attacking Islam, who's promoting Islam, what websites came up that are new, which ones went down, which ones came up for sale because they didn't take care of it, and things like this. We're constantly watching and monitoring. Long before there was even Google, we knew about doing searches. Of course, it's a lot easier now. Let me ask you this question. Who was the first one to ever put an Islamic video on YouTube? Anybody know? First person to ever put an Islamic video on YouTube. Talking about anything with Islam. Talking about Quran, Hadith, Arabic, Tafsir, biography of the Prophet ﷺ. Anybody know? Who's the first one ever to put anything on there? Which country do you think it came from? Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, Indonesia? Huh? US? You think? Well, you're looking at the first guy that ever put one up there. Yeah, right here. But I'm not bragging, I'm just telling you I did it. You know what? Now I'll tell you the rest of the story. My guys that work with me on the internet asked me to put it up, and I told them I thought it was stupid. Because I said, who would ever go to that thing? You know, remind me of a flat tire. YouTube. Well, what does the letter U look like if you turn it upside down? A flat tire. And that's all I thought about. I said, who would be dumb enough to... And today, there's nobody on the planet that didn't hear about YouTube, right? Everybody knows. You say YouTube, they say video. Back then, you said YouTube, you said flat tire. Is that weird? Talking about words. You have to be careful about words. How we understand something today, not how we understood it some time ago. When I was a kid, if you said, oh, you know, my uncle, he's so happy He's one of the happiest guys you ever met. I'd say he's really gay. Oops. What would that mean today? Kalmaloo? Yeah, definitely. Whole different meaning, huh? Back then, if there was a gay marriage, everybody say, oh, well, it was a lot of fun, wasn't it? Gay marriage. A lot of fun. Not the same meaning today, is it? Strange, huh? But anyway, to come back to our subject, my point of being here with you today was really to raise our awareness of what Dawah really is in today's world. Because if you want to go to some books, and there are a lot of books, especially in Arabic language, and lectures from like Sheikh bin Baz, rahimahullah. And in fact, he had a really good lecture in Arabic about Dawah. Excellent in Arabic. But how far do you think it would go today with the Muslims when 88% of us are not Arabs? And even of the Arabs, what's the percentage that don't really know classical Arabic? Right? So, how important is it, and this is my question, a rhetorical question, how important is it for us Muslims to have our voice in today's media? Is it important or no? When somebody gets arrested and charged, they grab a friend of yours, a relative of yours, they grab them and take them in and accuse them of everything in the world. Everything. What are you going to do? What can we do? We can go on the internet, right? And try to respond back to something that somebody else said on CNN's blog, right? Which is going to be what? It's going to be covered up. No matter what you say, it's going to be smashed. Yes or no? But I want you to take a look real close at the news that I just asked you to download, and I hope you did it. Because if you did it, I can show you something. The lies about the Prophet's Mosque, the #1 story that we have on. Again, as I said earlier, it's a short little blurb. I mean, it is really, really short. Hardly anything there, but it says it all. The administrator of the two holy mosques strongly denied the reports that have just surfaced in Western media outlets that claim that the tomb of the Prophet ﷺ is going to be removed or moved. Some people said it was going to be removed. Others said it's going to be moved to another location. Anyway, this is the personal opinion of a researcher who expressed his ideas in a study. Has nothing to do with the views of the presidency or the kingdom. The presidency's media spokesman said that on Thursday. Now, they went on to tell us more about it. They said, we're discussing whether or not we're going to take legal action against the media called the British Daily about a lawsuit because they published it. But guess where they got it from? Guess where they got it from? Muslims. Now, part of the problem, and I have to tell you this, is because of the split within the Muslim community. There are many factions, splits, groups within the people that call themselves Muslim. Did I shock you, or you already knew that? Who here didn't know that? Anybody didn't know it? Of course you all know about it. And it's not new. It didn't happen yesterday, did it? In fact, this is going back 1400 years, isn't it? Some of these splits are very old. But the Western world, and let's just say the whole world outside of Islam, they don't understand that, or they don't want to know. Because if anybody from group A does something bad, then group B, C, D, E, F, and G, all of them are going to get the same label at the same time. Is that right? But if anybody does anything good out of any of those groups, they themselves don't want you to say Islam. They want to say us, group B. We did something good. Look at us. Look, hey. Huh? Am I right or wrong? Let's promote our group. Let's promote us. We got a label. See my label? I'm this group. I'm group C, and he's group B. Get away from me, man. You in group B? What are you doing? Is it true or false? Can I share a story with you? It's a true story. It happened to me. I came back from Mexico on a trip for Dawah, and when I got back to Houston, again, somebody else had come in before me, Muslim, and they had left my CD with the people there at the TSA, the people in, you know, immigration and that, and they told them to be on the lookout for me. Wasn't that nice? I didn't know that. When I hit the thing, they said, step over here, come over and sit down. I'm like, what happened? They met me at the airplane, by the way. You know, like the door of the airplane, they have a list, and they'll say this person, that person. They didn't even have a list. I was the third person or first person something out the door, really, really up front, because I was hurried to go get to my other plane and get on. Step off, and they just pointed to me. Like that, and I went, Hey, I even tucked in my thobe in my pants, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I didn't even have a kufi on, nothing, just like, hey, how y'all doing? I said, man, you know this cutter of the law, if he wants you to go, you're gonna go. So they asked me some questions. They asked me, you know, what you're doing in Mexico, what's going on down there, blah, blah, blah. One of the questions they asked me, so you're a Muslim? Yes. What kind of Muslim are you? I know exactly what they meant, but it offends me that anybody, first of all, in our government, they're not supposed to bother you about religion. Do you know that? They're not supposed to. Well, they asked me what kind of Muslim I was. Wouldn't that really be between me and the good Lord? But anyway, I told them, well, I'm a fat Muslim, but I'm trying to lose weight. Yep. They said, no, come on, no, we mean, you know, not that. We want to know, like, what kind of Muslim are you? What kind, you know? I said, well, I'm old, but I can't do nothing about that. They said, what type? I said, oh, type? Be positive. That's my blood type. And I kept a straight face too. But then he pulled out his list and he said, are you this one, this one, this one, this one, this one? He's naming all these groups. And most of them I'd heard before. In fact, when Sheikh and I worked in the prison system, you know, we have to know these different groups because you want to know what kind of service you're going to give there, because you're a chaplain, you got to take care of them, or maybe you don't want to get involved with them, but you need to know. The Moorish Science Temple, are the 5 percenters, Noble Drew Ali, the followers of this or that or something. Some of you never heard of these, right? But if I would have said Naqshbandiya, Braille, Asher Ithnain, Sunni, Sufi, Goofy, you know. Come on, man, there's a lot of groups. And he's going through this list, and I said, man, I'm going to miss my airplane. I better think of something quick. But I refuse to put myself in a group. I'm not going to do it. Not for them, not for nobody. I'll miss the plane. I'm thinking, and when I heard him say Hebrewish Muslim, Hebrewish Muslim, I forgot about that group. I only encountered him one time in one prison in Texas, but I remember Hebrewish Muslim, and that's when it snapped. I went, I'm a Christian Muslim. He looked at me, huh? I said, I was a Christian, and I became a Muslim, so they call me a Christian Muslim. He said, oh. You can go. But look what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us in the Quran. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu ittaqullaha haqqa tuqatih wa la tamutunna illa wa antum muslimun. Wa'tasimu bihablillahi jami'a wa la tafarraqu. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Imran, chapter 3, verse 102, and part of verse 103. He's telling the real believers, the mu'mineen, to have taqwa for Allah. And we'll talk about taqwa later, but to have taqwa for Allah, it's His right that you have taqwa for Him. And don't die except in a state of aslama. Don't die except that you are one who has surrendered submission, obedience, sincerity, and peace with Almighty Allah. And then he goes on to say, wa means and. So it wasn't done. It wasn't done. Keep going. And all of you, Jami'ah, hold tight to the rope of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Jami'ah, together. Wallah tafaraqu, and don't separate. Don't separate. Haramat tafaraqu. It is haram for the Muslims to divide up, to separate. But how are you going to solve the problem? 1400 years. Some guy from Texas is certainly not going to solve that problem today, is he? And you're right. You're not going to solve the problem for other people, but you can solve it for yourself. As long as somebody else wants to claim to be a what, or a whoever, and a however, that's their choice. But if you hold on to the rope of Allah, what is that rope that's being talked about here? And I asked ulama, and they said it is the deen of al-Islam. You can say, I am a Muslim. And what did Allah say in the Quran? It is He, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who named you Muslim. You got a better name than Allah came up with? Huh? Now, I gave this talk some time back, quite a few years back, and a group came out and attacked me. Why? Because it made their group look bad. They went on to say that I don't understand Arabic. So, well, I never said I did. They went on to say, oh, this man, blah, 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 blah. And they took it. Now, where I give the talk was in Malaysia. I happened to have been in Kuala Lumpur. And by the way, has anybody been to Malaysia? Anybody been to Kuala Lumpur? Those are amazing people. They are amazing. The way they hold on to the deen, I love those guys. It was pouring rain that night. And the whole masjid was so jam-packed full, you couldn't move. I thought they were going to get up on the stage with me. And that would have been welcome, by the way. But they had chairs lined up outside, rows and rows and rows of chairs, and they were all full. Now what's the big deal? It was pouring down rain and they never moved. I mean, that's amazing. Just to see an old white guy from Texas talk about Islam. That's wow, man. I was thinking they must be hard up for entertainment. But anyway, maybe they'll watch Gadget's TV, right? Anyway, but seriously, you know, how many times has it happened that somebody asked you, are you this or are you that? For instance, let's just take the so-called Sunni Islam, if you excuse me using that label, and somebody will say to you, well, are you Maliki, are you Shafi, are you Hanbali, or Hanafi, or what are you? What do you mean what I am? I'm from Texas. What do you want? What kind of Muslim are you? Texas Muslim. I don't know. What do you want? I refuse. I'm not going to back off of that. What about you, Sheikh?
I concur. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Talk some.
Jazakumullah khairan. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Assalatu wassalamu ala nabiyyina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Please forgive our lateness. We just came from a meeting with the Muslim chaplain of the Department of Corrections here in the state of Washington and Oregon to kick off a very important initiative for our Muslim brothers in the prisons.
They don't know we're late or early. They didn't even know we were coming.
Well, alhamdulillah. better late than ever. Better late than no time, right? Alhamdulillah. Sheikh and I have been traveling for many years together in the work of da'wah in many places all across the globe, and alhamdulillah we have had the opportunity to meet so many wonderful, wonderful brothers and sisters in many, many places, lands and countries, and alhamdulillah, it has given us a great appreciation for what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us in this great ni'mah called al-Islam. Along with that favor that Allah has given us, He has also given us the responsibility to share this favor. And the best way to share it is first and foremost to share it with ourselves, to share it with our families, and then to share it with our community.
That's right.
As we mentioned about working with the inmate population, you know, it is said that Islam is one of the fastest growing religions or ways of life. And this is certainly very well true. And perhaps no place as much as it is in the prisons, where maybe upwards from 95 to 98% of the Muslims incarcerated became Muslim after their incarceration. We have a dilemma today, and the sad part about it is that a lot of our Muslim brothers and sisters in free society don't even want to go near a prison for the purpose of da'wah, because they're afraid they won't come out, you know? But we also have the problem of Muslims on the inside not having enough representation from the outside community to give them the correct understanding of Islam, the correct aqidah. So consequently, the United States government in 2004, under the auspices of the United States Senate Committee of Homeland Security, identified the so-called radicalization of Islam and Muslims in the prison as the #1 security threat of the U.S., of the United States. Now, who's going to solve that problem? Who's going to correct that perception if we don't correct it? We have inmates right now who are looking at what's going on in the Gulf and thinking that this is the genuine Khilafah. What are we going to do to correct that problem? I remember when I was working full-time as a chaplain in the prison, I went to visit one of the institutions, and the inmate Muslim coordinator, we didn't call them imams. They called themselves imams. We call them inmate Muslim coordinator. He's in lockup because he's got a picture of Osama bin Laden on his locker or in his cell. Why? Because we are not willing to share this great favor with alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. Jazakumullah khairan, alhamdulillah. That's just a little bit of our story, and there's so much more to share with you. We're going to be at the Masjid Abu Bakr after Maghrib this evening, and inshallah ta'ala, if some of you can come and share with us at that time, we'll be broadcasting live on Guidance TV. We've been broadcasting since December 10th, December 2010.
After Salat al-Asr, we'll be broadcasting live right here.
Oh, mashallah.
We have to. It's already announced all over the place. It's a secret here, but it's not a secret on our channel. Our channel is saying clearly 6 o'clock we're live right here.
Well, you all are in for a special treat to share with us this platform of giving a voice to Islam and Muslims in the West. So thank you very much for having us, and we look forward to sharing this experience with you. And we hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts it from us.
Ameen.
Hope that Allah keeps our intentions pure and gives us a good end. Ameen. Wa subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik. Wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta wa nastaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Jazakumullah khairan ya Sheikh.
Jazakallah khair. Yeah, a lot of these things that were decided on while Sheikh was doing the prison work with us today. So, just so you know, we're going to wrap this right now, then we're going to do the Asr, and then we're going to get ready, inshallah, all this inshallah, so that we'll be able to do a live program right here. You can right now take the opportunity to send a text message or a phone call to somebody that you would like them to know about this and get them out here quick, especially if they've been kind of getting away from Islam, especially if they're not Muslim yet, especially if it's a youth that's kind of messed up. Send them something and tell them we got a big surprise over here. Get over here right now. They're giving it away free. And don't even tell them what it is. And we'll be giving away the secrets of dawah. Talking about secrets, we're going to open that subject up big time. Jazakumullah khair, subhanakallah wa hamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. And Sheikh, thank you so much for letting us come in and take over your class right in the middle of everything. We really appreciate you so much. Barakallah feek. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
No, we are so glad. So we already know, so we can make announcement. But anyway, Jazakallah khair for your coming. And also, we was with Sheikh in Kentucky in the Indonesian conference. We are together, alhamdulillah. And I think also, as we know that the most important thing now is the information. It's propaganda. We have a lot of things that against Islam, and we didn't have it. Alhamdulillah, the Sheikh in this age is very energetic to have this. It's very, very important. So, and what we can do, is to support them, inshallah. And there is the flyer, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we can.
Inshallah.
Yeah. So if somebody can pass it, inshallah. So whatever he can. So we'll continue. So anybody become Muslim, anybody here does the program, you will get the reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also. Yeah? And there's some book also, like, there's some flyer, there's some book.
Remind me at the very end. At the end, we have to put the name of that girl on the thing. Let her see her name. But not till I announce it. It's at the very end of the program. You got her name?
This is the dawah bumper sticker.
Grand prize?
For those of you who want to give dawah, alhamdulillah.
Yeah, it's for me, yeah?
Yes. And also we have the pledge cards. If you'd like to make a pledge, a monthly pledge. Actually, we're looking for 25 families to support Guidance TV on a monthly basis, inshallah ta'ala.
We'll do that afterwards. Yeah, do it after. Yeah, you can give it to them, but we'll talk about it at the end of the program. Are we going to do it here?